So, you're thinking about getting into the short-term rental game. In this video, I'm gonna go over everything you will need to know to start a successful Airbnb. Now, this is from A to Z, selecting your lot, the perfect location, interior design, amenities, number of beds you need, pricing, and so much more. Let's get into it. Let me start off with the most important factor. My goal is always to comfortably get as many people inside as often as possible, and that should be your goal too. Now, why? If you're sleeping 16 to 20 people and you want to charge $1,000 to $1,500 a night, you're gonna spread that amongst as many people as you can. And then if it's $100 a person, you're beating out a Motel 6 with a badass Airbnb. Now, a lot of people, they get worried. They're like, oh, my house is gonna have wear and tear and I don't want that many people. You cannot think that way. A, the house will get some wear and tear, but B, you wanna make as much money as you can to make up for that. And honestly, the more you can charge every night, I find that the guests treat the houses even better. I have multiple Airbnbs and I will say, the damage that I've had in my units is very, very slim to none, honestly. A lot has changed in recent years where Airbnb has really cracked down on ragers. They've been charging guests that have done damage. I just think the culture is great. If your biggest fear is damage to your home, you need to get over that. And remember, put as many people in this house as you can. We wanna just talk location. You wanna be within 5 to 10 miles of a downtown area or a big metroplex if you can. Now, that's not to say there's some like niche country spots and like lake houses and stuff like that, but I like to be as close to downtown as possible. We are in downtown Austin, we're 2 miles away. What else are we near? Zilker Park. That's where South by Southwest is held every year. There's hundreds of thousands of people coming into the city and you can walk right to the festival. Now, let's talk about the site. But if you look, our driveway isn't that big and it's kind of hard to maneuver. I mean, you could fit 4 cars, but you might have as many as 6, 8, maybe 10 cars. So what I'm doing in the front yard is we pulled up all this grass. This is all gonna be gravel. I wanna park at least 5 to 6 cars here and then have 4 more there, because if you can park everyone on site, again, you're just accommodating to these big groups. Now, if you look behind me, this is an older home. I love a little bit older homes for Airbnb because A, they're less expensive to buy, and B, that wear and tear factor, the house has already been a little worn. Of course, we're gonna do kind of a cosmetic remodel, but it's really great because you're not worried about a brand spanking new house. Now, let me also say this, brand new homes go for a premium. So I'm actually for that too, but what I'm saying is don't turn down a house that's a little older. Don't be afraid to do a cosmetic remodel. You don't need to go and spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to make this work. I'm gonna show you how I made it work on somewhat of a budget. All right, let's talk about curb appeal. Get a load of what this house used to look like from the Google Street View. And look at it now. So I just brought a lot of white to the front just to liven it up. And honestly, now it makes that stone look a lot more inviting instead of that old, boring, tired 70s feel. Now, it's just a little more lively, it looks more updated, it looks more modern in color schemes. So I mentioned a site that can accommodate a lot of people. Look at this backyard. Let me talk about one factor that could damn near instantly double your revenue. That's a pool. Now, we're not gonna do a full pool yet, but what I am gonna do is a stock tank pool with a deck around it. Now also, you see they're ripping up some yard here. I'm gonna do a turf area. We're gonna get a volleyball net, we're gonna get soccer goals, we're gonna get cornhole, we're gonna get spike ball. This is just gonna be an awesome hangout spot. String lights, string lights, string lights, string lights. That is like the key to creating a fun and cool atmosphere. So what we're gonna do is put string lights around this whole yard, and then it's just gonna be an awesome experience. Another thing, if you're gonna have, 14, 16, 20 people, you need massive tables. This is a 12-foot long picnic table. It's made out of steel and wood. It's gonna last forever. All right, let's talk about the renovation that you're gonna need on this home. Remember, this is a home from the 70s. So there's a lot of funkiness going on, but now there's good funk and there's bad funk. So for instance, this linoleum floor, pretty damn funky. And when you mix it with the crappy linoleum countertops, it just looked cheesy and nasty. That old original wood color, it just shows age. I thought, you know what? This floor has some really cool blue accents. I don't want to spend the money to rip it all up. I'm gonna leave the floor, but I'm gonna paint all the cabinets. I'm gonna do some new counters. And of course, you need some nice, decent appliances. You also want to get a nice washer and dryer because your cleaning service is going to do all the linens there. Another thing, you want to just paint throughout. White is a nice neutral color. You want to create a fun atmosphere. You don't want this to just feel like any regular house. You want people to come here as a destination. Another thing is canned lighting. If you look at the old photos, there was fluorescent lighting, which is just like the most disgusting hue. It's flickering. That is like the sign of an old home. So putting in these can lights is a major upgrade. Now, come over here, check this out. This right here was a random open like nook. I don't know what the hell you would use it for, but come check it out now. I had my guys put up this wall and door, and now here's another private bedroom, okay? So we have 4 regular bedrooms, that's the master, 3 others. I have a bunk room with 3 beds, and then I added this 5th bedroom. So there's gonna be 9 beds in this house. That means we can comfortably sleep 18 people. Now, sometimes if they want an overage, we can bring in air mattresses, we can charge extra per head. This is all ways you can make money. But check out this cozy little space. It's the perfect size for a queen bed right here. And honestly, anytime you can have a private bedroom, that's more money. Something that I always think is a game changer is a game room in the garage. People love this stuff. So what I did was I tore out all the old dingy shelves, new drywall in here, new paint. We put a mini split unit so we'll be heated and cooled in this garage. The floor is gonna get black paint, and then I got a bunch of awesome vintage furniture. I'm doing 3 different stand-up game sets. We're gonna do an air hockey table, a basketball game. This is just gonna be an awesome spot to hang out. Obviously a big TV on the wall. Now, talking about TVs, I think this is something that's always overlooked, but you want to pack your house with TVs. People are coming here to congregate, to lounge, to watch TV, to hang out. So what I do here, we have this weird window into that room that I encased earlier. I walled that in. Put your outlets up high to hide the cables, make everything nice, neat, and tidy. But there should be a TV in every common space. So that's this living room, the game room garage, and the bunk room, and then every private bedroom. Just those things, those amenities, they draw people in. All right, let's talk atmosphere, which is super important. Just look at this light fixture behind me. You want stuff that's kind of unique, that's fun. This is industrial. We have some Edison bulbs. These cords are all kind of squirrely. We're gonna make this just a focal point. We're gonna have a massive dining table that's gonna sit at least 16 people. That's all custom. I cannot tell you how important art is. I've paid for about 15 different paintings that are gonna decorate all of these walls in the entire house. It's gonna feel like a damn gallery in here. The other thing is furniture. Just different stuff like this. I got this old military lamp at an antique shop. I have these old scales that tell you your fortune. We have like big mirrors from Restoration Hardware. Invest in those things, make it important. Unique furniture, unique art, unique decor. You're creating this awesome atmosphere, and I will tell you, you cannot quantify the amount of money additional that you're gonna get for doing those things. Let's talk bedrooms and bed layouts. So ideally, you want a nice mix of private and common spaces. Think of it as like a big sleepover party. If you have a bunk room, there's a lot of friends that are having a great time. This is perfect for like bachelorette parties. You want to find some really cool rooms like this one. This is a great private room. We're putting at least a queen bed in every room, ideally. You can put smaller ones in smaller areas, but this is going to be a nice private room. Pick the best place to situate the bed, TV right across, 2 nightstands, maybe a desk. People are gonna love this. Ensuite baths are also very paramount. So over here is its own ensuite bath. But don't be afraid, not every space has to be private. In my opinion, getting more beds in the house is still gonna drive up your revenue. So a space like this, stairs are right there. This is kind of open air to the house. So this is gonna be the bunk room. There's gonna be 3 different beds in here with its own TV. This is where like when families come, like all the kids will sleep. Now come on into the true master suite. So this is a giant room. Sometimes it is nice to have a private master, but I have another Airbnb where I put 2 king-size beds in the master and it works really great. Now you get 2 more people in the room and it's big enough to where it's not uncomfortable. I think this is a prime example of how you can take a somewhat private space and turn it into a somewhat public space. Something that is paramount in a short-term rental is technology. Get the fastest Wi-Fi you can. If you can do fiber, go for it. We're doing 8 gig Google Fiber here. That's not only so the guests have good Wi-Fi, you're gonna have about 18 people using all the Wi-Fi here, all the TVs, but then we're gonna have cameras. Very important. You need a camera at least in the front and in the back. Seeing who comes and who goes is amazing for security, but also you want to check that people aren't bringing more people than they're supposed to. A video doorbell also. You need a smart lock that you can access via Wi-Fi to change codes for every guest, to unlock if people need to get in and out when you're not there, and also so the guests can let themselves in without meeting up with you. Home goods. Look at all of this. We have mattresses, we have pillows, we have towels, we have 3 sets of sheets because you want one that's gonna be cleaned, you want a backup, and then you want one that the maids are gonna put on for the new beds. Then we need silverware, we need cutlery, we need coffee makers, blenders, toasters, microwaves. All of those things that you would normally use in a home, you want everyone to be able to use when they come and stay at your short-term rental. Let's talk safety and security. Things that I always make sure are here on site is a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher, and an alarm system. This house there's gonna be many people coming and going. It's gonna be vacant a good portion of the time, and you wanna be able to arm and disarm this house. There's tons of expensive stuff inside, and you want it all secure. You want, in addition to your homeowner's insurance, you want a short-term rental policy. There is all of these different caveats. You can put a number of personal property to insure. So if we have $100,000 of personal property in the house, we get a $100,000 personal property policy. If any of that stuff gets broken and not covered by Airbnb, you can put it on your insurance company. But Airbnb has a $1 million general liability policy that if any of the guests damage things at your house and they won't pay, which you can request the guest to pay if it's something minor, if it's something major, Airbnb will kick in and their insurance policy will cover you. I will say, I have never had something damaged that either a guest didn't take care of or that Airbnb did not reimburse me for in the history of operating. Arguably, one of the most important parts of a short-term rental is the listing itself. If you think about it, this is how everyone's gonna find you. So there's multiple layers to this. You wanna get amazing photos of the whole project. And once you've created all your mood and you got your art and everything, the game room set up, the beds, it'll basically speak for itself. But you want to take about 100 photos. I think that's the max that you can put on your listing. What's an easy thing to do is go to other successful listings in the area and just copy their formatting. I put a cool catchy title like hip bachelor/et pad stocked with art, games, and made for fun. Something like that. You want to relay the theme. If this is a peaceful retreat, you want to put that in the title. You want to put something about your location, minutes from downtown, things like that. Look at all those taglines. They have limits to the titles you can do, and you want to be as punchy as you can. In the descriptions, you want to be really wordy. List all your different amenities. Take pictures of all your different amenities, like your coffee machine, your blender, your toaster oven, all the different bedrooms. Lay everything out methodically. This is like down to a science. And you want to give as much detail to people as you can before they ever set foot in your property. Another big part of this is, depending on where you're located, you may or may not need a permit. In the city of Austin, we need a permit, and operating without one can get you shut down, fined, and is super annoying to deal with. So make sure to lock all of that down. Other things as far as logistics are, have a great cleaning company that has login access to your Airbnb or VRBO listing, and they'll see when guests check in and check out, and they will come and do the whole turn down. They're gonna clean the whole unit. They're gonna refresh all the linens. They're gonna put all the dishes back. Costco is your friend. Go to Costco, Sam's, get a bunch of shampoos, soaps, paper towels, toilet paper, all of that different stuff, and I just buy a year's supply at one time, and I find a closet at the house. I put a lock on it, and then the cleaners can just go in there and restock, and then every year you just restock up again. It's always good to have boots on the ground, like a maintenance man or someone just for general stuff. If your AC goes out, if you have a plumbing leak, all of this stuff could kill a listing, and you need these people on hand. You need to partner with some sort of a handyman or get your different service techs out. There's different services for home warranties and things like that, but really you need someone on the clock, because if something happens at midnight, you might need someone to come out then and there. What I do is I pay a boots on the ground person a monthly fee to just be on call for the property. All of this stuff goes in line to becoming a super host. Once you are a super host, you get tons of perks. It's just showing everyone that you are an awesome property owner, and they do not need to worry about anything when booking, because the thing is, people are also worried about crappy hosts that are looking to gouge them on little repairs, that are non-responsive, things of that nature. So when you have all of everything lined up for your people, your boots on the ground, your maintenance people, you can serve your guests to the best of your ability. I am still a main point of contact. I will have my boots on the ground person be what's called a co-host on my listing, and they'll chime in when I can't, but I always want to be the one communicating with the guests. I want to provide that service, at least so you get the super host, and then you can kind of coast. But you need to baby this thing from the beginning. Now, when it comes to pricing, a lot of people ask, where should I be priced? Well, the first thing you do is you look at a bunch of different Airbnbs around you. You look at ones that are better, you look at ones that are worse. You also can look at a website called AirDNA, which pulls all of the data of pricing in whatever area and zip code that you put down. Use this as a guide, but I will often find, by following the tips that I just went over, that I will double, if sometimes triple, the nightly rate as places around me. Because remember, if you're looking at a place down the street and it only sleeps 5 people, that's not gonna be indicative of sleeping 18 people. And then there's some places that might sleep 18, but it's on an acre on the lake in a brand new mansion. That's probably not gonna be similar either. You wanna try to find a place that's somewhat similar to what you're trying to achieve, but even then, I have seen multiple different listings that didn't do a lot of the things that I said, and it hurts their nightly rate. If you follow these steps, what you wanna do is start off somewhat low. You wanna gain interest, you wanna get your reviews, you wanna build up to being a super host. Then you want to steadily start to increase until you literally start seeing your nightly drop down. That's the market telling you that you're priced too high. And then you want to just come down and find that sweet spot. And then it's going to ebb and flow as you get busy and as you get slow. When you get slow, start dropping the price. As you get busy, raise the price. Look up different holidays, events, concerts, festivals, and you want to set really high nightly rates for those like a year in advance. And as they get closer, if they're not booked, you can start slightly dropping the price on those nights. Things like Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, spring break, all of these different holidays where people are vacationing, that's where you can make a premium. All right, y'all, so that is my rundown on how to find, buy, operate, manage, and be successful with an Airbnb. Obviously, there's many different ways to do this, but I've found success in my way, and I think you will too. If you're new and you haven't seen our channel, we are a construction-based channel. We do multi-million-dollar builds, from million-dollar pools to estates on the lake. Anything is on the table. We do weekly recaps called Behind the Build on all of our progress from the previous week. We do educational videos, and then also we do different things and investment projects that I'm doing, like short-term rentals, to give y'all just a holistic picture into the world of real estate development and investing. I appreciate y'all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.